My, male 21, best friend P, female 22, is dating my high school bully and I'm cutting her out of my life. As stated in the title, for the past 3 years, I, male 21, have considered a girl, let's call her P, female 22, to be my best friend. P has witnessed much of what I've been through, especially after my family disowned me for refusing to forgive my cousin for up with my then girlfriend 4 years ago. P was the one who helped me get through it all, and I honestly believed she would never harm me. However, here I am. She was in my place last night, and we were drinking. She isn't very good at it, so she let her guard down and revealed to being in a relationship with my high school bully. We were all in the same class, so she knows what he, M22, I believe, has done to me. He became much meaner when my family rejected me, especially because my cousin was a member of his organization. He and his crew of lackeys were constantly verbally and physically abusive to me. I complained to the school, but we all know how helpful they are in these situations. Moreover, because I did not have my parents by my side, nothing was done to them and my existence was made even harsher. P was the only one who held me together when I began living with her parents after I was disowned. So she understands firsthand what type of anguish that individual put me through. Back to the subject. I don't believe she instantly comprehended what she had confessed to and proceeded to sleep in my spare bedroom. I was too startled to sleep, so I went to stay with a college buddy. P must have understood what she confessed to last night and have since been flooding my phone with calls and messages. My buddy took my phone away and I am using his phone to make this article. Apologies for any typos. Apologies for any mistakes. I am honestly thinking about cutting her out at this point. She means a lot to me, but I simply can't be around her anymore. But I don't know if I'm being unreasonable here. Could you please assist mend it? So, I'll just give you some information here. I've decided to meet with her tomorrow to get her perspective on the situation. At the very least, I need to do that much. I'll also answer your questions tomorrow. Thank you so much for everything. I had no idea there would be so many people willing to assist me. Update. In any case, as most of you wonderful people suggested, I went to talk with her the next day to get to know her side. But on the advice of others, I did not go alone. I was accompanied by 2 of my college friends. When I walked into the cafe where we were supposed to meet, I had no idea what I was thinking or feeling. But when I saw her, it felt like she had been crying all night. P got up to hug me as I approached her. This is how we usually greet each other, but I gently pushed her away. I could tell she was in pain, but so was I. My friends took seats at the next table, and P and I began talking. She could barely form sentences as she apologized after apologizing after apologizing after apologizing after apologizing after apologizing after I gently told her to stop crying, and she eventually began telling me her side of the story. They hadn't been dating for 3 months, but for a year. Yup, she had been deceiving me for a year. Then came the line that most of you predicted she'd say. P, he's changed dramatically. You want to meet him, me? Really? After everything he's done, you're going to say that to me? You know I still have scars from what he did to me, don't you? What was the point of talking to him in the first place? P, he wanted to apologize to you for everything he did, but lacked the courage to do so. The conversation then went in circles. He wanted to apologize because the 2 of them had gotten into a conversation. But she couldn't answer my one question. Why him? Someone came over to us and sat beside her at this point. Any guesses as to who it was? Yup, my bully, let's call him M, was the source of the problem. I'm not sure what happened next, but there was a lot of yelling, and then M snapped and tried to punch me for making his girl cry. P was keeping an eye on everything. Because I wasn't in the correct frame of mind, the punch landed on me. My friends rushed over, but I knocked M down before they could do anything. I used to be small and frail in high school, but I've grown a lot in the last few years, both in height and weight. Thankfully, my friends intervened before I did something that I would later regret. P was crying the entire time, but she never tried to check on me. That's when I realized our friendship was over. I gave her one last look and said, "Too much for a change, don't you think?" My friends and I then walked out of the cafe. All of my rush and anger vanished, and I began bawling like I was back in high school. I'm not proud of it, but my friends were extremely helpful. The days after the meet were exhausting because I was busy moving in with my friends. I didn't think it was right for me to stay in the apartment I was living in because it belonged to P's parents. However, before leaving, I called them and informed them of the fight and that I was leaving. They were taken aback and assured me that their daughter would not cause me any problems. However, I declined. I was living there while paying them the bare minimum of rent, and I didn't think it would be a good idea for me to live somewhere P could find me. I thanked them for everything they had done for me over the years and assured them that our relationship remained the same. I could tell it was difficult for all of us, but this was a necessary farewell. So here I am, living with my college friends, who also celebrated my birthday the night before. It was a fantastic party that was also completely unexpected. After all, for the first time in my life, I forgot about my birthday in the midst of all this chaos. P attempted to call and text me on my birthday. However, I did not respond to or see her texts. So, I believe that's all. I'm still saddened by the loss of my best friend, but I know it's for the best for both of us. On a more positive note, I was informed that I have been chosen for a student exchange program. So if the pandemic permits, I will be moving to Singapore in a couple of months. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Finally, I want to express my gratitude for all of your love and support. Take care. I love you all. I'm still on my phone, so please excuse any typos. Story 2. I am 30 male, with my wife, 26 female, for 5 years, caught her cheating. We took some time off, thinking if I should go back. I am 30 years old and will be 31 this year. My wife is 26 years old, and we met online when I was in Columbus. She lives in Austin, while I'm in Columbus. We were married after 2 years of long-distance communication and travel, and she moved in with me to this area. Things were mostly okay, and whenever she expressed a desire to see her family, I assured her that she would be able to do so, which she did each year for 3-4 weeks. Before we met, she had a closest friend, but he and she both told me that they regarded their relationship to be more of a family link than anything else. So I didn't give it much thought at the time. I mean, she married me over him. She cheated on me when I was visiting her family in another city, and then I learned that her closest friend had always been in love with her. As soon as she refused to break up with all the men I knew she spoke to often, I'd lost hope at that point. I forced her to go. She returned to her parents' house and informed them that things had not worked out. After a few minutes of chit-chat, she left the room to work out items, finances, and such, but nothing really got sorted. I sought to elicit answers from her since she always seemed happy, and I believed we were a fantastic couple who could entirely rely on one another, but I believe I was taken advantage of. When she contacted me last month, she wanted to know what was going on with us and whether we were going to be done for good. She was also interested in knowing how I was doing. I told her of the situation. Marriage means a great deal to me. I had my heart set on one woman and was really delighted with her, but now I know she has slept with many other men since returning to her hometown. A few of her friends sympathized with me knowing what I have done for her while her family hated me because I sent her back. I can't seem to get my thoughts out of my brain, and I'm not sure whether I should go back to her, or if it's even worth it. Considering I will be 31 and I always wanted kids and a family, I feel that she stole this from me. I'm not sure if I should rethink getting back together with someone who had an affair with me while we were still married, or whether it's something I shouldn't even consider doing.